Great night, my kings and queens. Wake up and be authentic. On a don't know it's on a girl. Authentic Queen Simone. Come for drop some authentic spiritual reasoning in the night here. So I could just go straight up into it. Yes. What I go on, never want to know my phone come back. In other words, I have a new phone now. So now I jump on TikTok. Hopefully the phone will last me longer. And probably I get all the next a backup phone just in case. Alright. So right about now, I come for talk about the interview that I did with Dahlia Harris. You know, a lot of you might see it already. I post it on my YouTube channel. If you don't see it, if you don't get to listen to it, go and go listen to it and share it with your people them and share it with your network. But it's not so much of the interview that I'm going to talk about. It's something that happened last year, and this audio name never allow anyone for muffle you from speaking your truth. Now, some might know and some might not know. Who remember last year June, when I came out in the Loop News with that article that said ugly duckling turned motivational speaker? Well, that article caused a erupt where on the side of Mr. Roden, which is my father. And I was explaining to some of you that his wife and his daughter decided to step in and attack me. And of course, the person who I am, I'm going to stand up for myself and stand up for my truth, because I know that when I'm speaking my story and I'm speaking my thing, I'm doing it from a place of compassion and authority. Because when I'm talking, I'm just speaking my truth. And sometimes when you speak your truth, you are not responsible for the other person's reaction. Sometimes their reaction is because they know deep down inside that they did something wrong and they want you to feel bad about talking it. As long as you're not disrespect anybody, as long as you're not talk nothing about you talk the truth, you have the evidence, you can continue to speak your truth. You don't have to be disrespectful. You just say it with a level of authority and compassion. Compassion not in the sense that you're sorry for, but you speak it from a true place, from a place of genuineness. Like, for example, I'm speaking to help people, to inspire people. You understand what I mean? From that place I'm coming from. I'm not coming from a bitter place or a victim place, because there are times when I take full responsibility for situations that I know that I could have controlled. So let me remind some of you, because some of you knew, so some of you probably don't even know what happened. So last year when my article came out, I was attacked by my father's wife and his daughter. His favorite daughter. I considered, his favorite daughter, which is the truth, and his wife. About my article, the wife remarks was that I must take out her daughter name out of my dirty post and stop tell lie. Which in the only thing I said in the article was that he treated me with disdain while favoring his other daughter. The daughter decided that she go and call me and attack me and go on with her one bag of antics and bow, you act ugly, you this, you that, and go on. And of course, I step in and to run her off on my phone and make sure know what time it is, so till she delete all her messages them and stuff. Now, why are you saying this now, Queen? Why are you bringing up this? This is why I'm bringing it up. In one of the voice note that the wife sent, she said to me that she's telling me what I should speak about and what I should not speak about, and saying that I am down talking my father because I'm talking about my truth. Remember, this have nothing to do with her, because long before she exists and long before anybody exists, my father and I have this little thing, and my father and my mother have all of these things. All right, just listen carefully. So in the voice note, she's saying that like she want to say certain some of the things them enough to say. I'm enough to mention the part was the other daughter, because she not like that part. Them must say my sister. When I mentioned the other daughter in the context in which it was written, it was appropriate, because you know that you cannot call names, so you just say that one little part. But that is not the reason why she's upset. She's upset because me speaking my truth is going to cause earthquake in speaking my truth is going to cause earthquake in her fairy tale. That is the reason why she have a problem, because she don't want no one to hear the story, because them live them life like them all that, and them live them life like they're miss this and they're miss that, and they don't want anyone to know the truth. And then probably it will look bad on her to say, but the man first daughter, so you allow him to treat your daughter better, which in that was not the case. He is who he is. He's very stubborn, and he did what he did long before she come. But she just feel away about the situation, or she just want enough of herself and come in because she like to buy out people argument. So she's trying to muffle me, and then now the sister, she's trying to muffle me also by saying that my heart is ugly and that I'm bitter and that motivational speaker don't talk about their story and I should let it go. Which in I gave a brand promise that says I will use my journey to illustrate how I overcame emotional abuse and the opinion of others that has caused me to doubt my self-worth in the past and low self-esteem, right? In the past. Remember the brand promise, emotional abuse. Where did the emotional abuse come from? It come from there. I'm not the speaker that talk on the surface. Me I go deep and tell you the root cause, because a lot of times we want to treat the symptoms, but we don't want to cure the disease. We want to treat the symptoms. We want to run and say, oh, I'm going to forgive. But you need to go down and try to cure the disease. And the disease for me is the self-forgiveness. Forgive and cure the situation that you don't carry it on in your generation. All right? You don't want to go around talking about you're going to forgive people. And then when you try to forgive people and they reject you, you get upset again and they interrupt your healing because of your need to want to forgive them and let go, and I don't want to have any grudge against them. Let me tell you something. Forgiving someone don't mean that you have to go back to them. They can love them from a distance. Not so. What we should forgive is the situation that happened to us that we don't carry it on in our life. Let it go. Don't force yourself into people who don't want you. We focus too much because society tell us, say, oh my God, honor thy mother and thy father, and the days will be long. And they start to guilt you for say, if you don't honor them, you go dead. Am I saying disrespecting them? No. But I don't feel a child should try to run after someone who don't like them and who don't want to be with them. So you cure this disease by self-forgiveness and by looking into the situation from a different perspective, from a healed perspective, and so you don't carry it on, you don't make the mistake, and you be the ambassador for your bloodline and break the generational curse. Not everyone is strong enough to do that, but I can help you to do that if you're interested. So don't go to the meat of the matter now. So they tried to muff with me to make me feel guilty. One of the time, the wife, my father's wife said, my son miserable on earth. People, remember this, my authenticity, and she don't know nothing about nothing. As a matter of fact, she even passed her remarks one time and said, sorry, when my house was burnt down, that if it's disaster never take my mother come down here. I don't know this woman from nowhere. She does too enough. And then she butt in her mouth, she apologized, but then she come back her mouth again. So I had to put her in her place and tell her to butt out and go sit down and go hold her corner and make sure know what time it is. Because that little girl, Simone Roden, is not Simone Roden again. It's authentic Queen Simone. So I introduced her to the queen inside of me, the resilience, the self-worth that was buried under Simone Roden, that was buried under my childhood trauma. Me release it and give her a piece of me and show her what time it is. So she's trying to muffle me not to talk about my story by wanting me to feel guilty for speaking about my journey and to inspire other people. Remember, when I spoke about the story with my father, it saved some kids' life from high school more than one time. Now, last year, them come down upon me with big attack. And me never afraid of none of them. And the same article that they condemn and say is a dirty article and is a dirty post. Remember, I know my father don't say nothing, but she decided to share come butted for much and the daughter. So I 2-1, but me just get rid of them and do them for them and run the whole of them and still move on. So the article now, I was at my home one day and I got a phone call from a lady and she said, she saw my article, she saw my memes come up. And she said, she checked me out. She clicked and she go over Google and she saw the article and she was reading the article. And she said, I have to have this girl on my show. Have to have this girl on 2 Live show with Delia Harris and Johnny. So you remember 2 times I got on that show there already. First it was a reference from someone, and the second time it was someone who saw one of my memes and decided to invite me to come and talk about celebrating mistakes. Now this girl, she didn't know that I came on the air already, but I guess she knew and she probably started working with Delia of lately. So she said she read my article about Ugly Duckling turn motivational speaker. She said when she was reading the article, she said she loved the way I got deep in it. I didn't talk on the surface. I went down. I speak the truth. I never like myself. I think I did ugly. I speak the truth. I speak about my father. Stuff. And she would want me to come on the air to talk about that same story that was in the article. Remember the same article where them say I'm bitter. I'm art ugly. I'm motivational speaker and talk about them story. I must let it go. I mean, I jack it for fame and whatever. That same article, she read that article and she was impressed and she called me because she said a lot of speakers talk, but they only talk about the surface. They don't go deeper in it, all right? The deepness of it is to cure the disease. The surface is treating the symptom, but you don't cure the disease because you don't go deep for say, what was the root cause? Yes, I can say that is because I see the girl over there with the bleaching cream. The lady bleaching her baby with the skin while I do that seed was planted, plus everything in my ear. But it was a root cause because remember, you can in that same environment and you don't gravitate to that stuff, But the root cause was that my self-esteem was damaged since I was 4, 5, 6 by my father, and I wanted acceptance, and I felt that bleaching my skin was supposed to be, I was supposed to be accepted if I do that. That it was the root cause. The surface was the seed we plant, but what really caused me to do it was because of that root cause. I wonder if you're understanding what I'm saying, right? I wanted acceptance and stuff like that. And the disrespect that the wife was coming with and talking about all kind of things, saying that you know live girl life a life for people sit down on social media, blah 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 them out. I mean she talk, you know. Me she talk, she throw up on me and I go on, but me not pay her no mind. So she's trying to muff with me to make me feel bad for speaking my truth. No, I went on the radio and I spoke about my journey. You guys listened to it, you heard it, you hear me repeat the father, you hear me say people always that say in favor the other daughter, me talk the same thing them when me talking at the article, because the article was the thing that attracted the host to invite me there. And no, you know me stay. That's not gonna be my true self. I can talk. Some people say I talk with humor or whatever and so forth. But naturally stay so on a daily basis. That's not a pretend. That's not a put on. That's the real thing. Alright? So while I was there now and finish up with the thing now, I sit down there and the girl come to me and she said, did you know that it's 2 guests we normally have on a Monday? But I gave you the entire half an hour to speak about your story because I love the way how you did it. We didn't interrupt you. Just say even Johnny in the back was saying you get the right person for the job, you know. She had the right person. The way I just sit down and talk and me never afraid them, never have to draw no time. I just open and just reel and just start the thing and just say who's his self-confidence and self-awareness and stuff like that. Now listen. What if I had allowed those people to muffle me and to threaten me and to make a talk like take that part out of your dirty pose and talk all those things to let me stop? The universe would have thumped me in my back. Because when you're on a mission, you're going to always come under attack. Sometime by who? The same persons that are offended. And it's so funny because not for the time, the team people them were hurt you at them same one at the biggest mouth. That's called emotional abuse. You know, what if I had allowed them to emotionally abuse me again? That's why it is good to heal. That's why it is good to heal. Because what if I wanted acceptance from them? And I said, a true yeah man, me now come talk my story, yeah man, cause look there. I don't care because listen, when they were emotionally abused me in public, they didn't care. So when I am come to talk about my journey to heal somebody else, I'm doing it unapologetically, not to hurt or offend them, but to help other people. And if I was doing it from a bitter perspective and from a victim perspective, everybody would have been like, you're dirty people. A lot of persons said, I love the way you dealt with it. You're very strong. Bitter people cannot talk to people who are suicidal. Them would have killed themselves. The suicidal person would have got jump through the window because the bitterness in them are going to get energy. Go. But the energy was oozing self-confidence and self-awareness to the point where they say, you know what, I'm going to kill myself here, man. You understand what I mean? But you're going to come under attack from people. And the hottest thing is the people them will hurt you. Because society have this thing. You know what I don't like about society? The parent hurt the child. And the child must live them forever life forgiving that parent. Oh, forgive the parent. What about the child? Society don't care about the victim, you know. They care about the abuser. Oh God, forgive them. They are so understanding towards the abuser, but they are not understand. Oh, forgive this man and thing or whatever. Listen, forgive yourself and forgive the situation. Because some parents will only want to come in your life when you have something. They don't care. When my father was doing what he was doing, he made the decision. He never made no mistake. He know what he was doing. But what he did not know was that I was going to use that as an ammunition to fuel my passion. He did not know that all of those things that he did to me, I was going to use it one day to strengthen myself and to strengthen my bloodline, because I'm the ambassador for my bloodline and break the generational curse. I remember when the daughter said, why you don't use Javi as your motivation, why you have to use your struggle. She don't want me to talk about my struggles because the struggle involved her father. But the struggle don't mean so talking about my situation, it means that I'm hurting him. He's hurt because of his guilty conscience. He's not hurt because of what I'm talking about, because he knows deep down inside is the truth. So she's trying to muffle me and to stop me so them gang up on me, but I didn't care because I made them know what time it is. They got introduced to authentic Queen Simone, the queen inside of me, my inner self-confidence, because I no longer want no validation from them, so I can tell them my mind. That is what it's about. When you cure the symptoms, when you cure the disease, you no longer want no validation from nobody. Who are these people to tell me what I should say and what I should not say? They imposed the hurt, the pain upon me, and I healed from it and using it in a positive manner. And they are trying to stop what God has ordained because of their own guilty, egotistic self. And I decided that I was not going to allow them to do it. And the interview went well. A lot of persons reached out to me and they were laughing. A lot of persons were laughing. They were saying, "Boy, Queen, you're not easy." And I got a lot of feedback. And whether me get feedback or not, I had to do what I had to do. I had to fulfill the mission, irrespective of what they were saying about me. I had to do what I had to do. Many of us out there now, we are afraid to talk about our journey. We're afraid to talk about our story. We're afraid to bring it to the forefront because the abusers are going to attack us. I talked to a girl one time and she said, when she just come out, come talk, them tell her, say, them tell her, say, them are going to kill her. If she go out, they go talk, them are going to kill her. And I said to her, speak from a place of authority. Don't speak from a place of bitterness when you're saying it. Let God lead the way. And she come out and she speak her journey and she speak her story and she all right now. They are only telling you that because they know deep down within themselves that they are guilty. So after the interview was over and they were like, "Girl, you're going with yourself." You know, said the DMs them start run up. The DMs start run up. And while I was in the car, because my daughter was there, she was the one who video and recorded the some of the sessions. Apart from the fact that Radio Jamaica did their recording. She was there. She's my little videographer. What them call it? Videographer or whatever her name. And she was there with me and she made my videos them and fixed up my little stuff them for me. Now, while I was in the car, a message came on my phone. And I said, no, I have to read this message. Now, listen what the message said. I'm going to read it to you guys. It says, "Blessings and more blessings to you, Queen. Full-time, 100%. However, I was listening to you and Daily Harris earlier on the audio by faith. You know, she said, tears came to my eyes and in my heart I'm suffering silently with low self-esteem, crippled in both hands and legs, being a bothersome to people, and I'm contemplating suicide." I'm going to pause right there. She said that she's suffering from low self-esteem and she's planning on contemplating suicide. And she feels like she's a bothersome to people. She was scrolling through the radio, going through the radio, and she heard Dahlia. She said Dahlia is not the station that she normally listens to. She normally listens to Cliff Hughes Nationwide, a fear station. But for some reason, that day, it told her to stop the radio on Dahlia Harris. She liked Dahlia Harris' spirit. And she heard me on the phone. She heard me on the radio. Let's go on. Why I said you must not allow anyone to muffle you if I'm speaking the truth. Okay. Where am I? Because I'm reading the text. But when I heard you on the radio today talking about your experience of how you overcame low self-esteem, I said to myself, there is hope. What the lady said, there is hope. I called her. I cried the entire day. Throughout the day, while I was cutting up the fruits, because I know so we do a little fruits thing and so forth. Me cut the fruits, blend and Kingman go sell them and do all of that. You know, we do a little juice thing and so forth and stuff like that. I cried for the entire day. The next day I was crying as well. I said, thank you, God. Let me tell you this. I might see you in my face and I might see me and so forth, but certain things can touch my heart and make tears come to my eyes. You know why tears come to my eyes? I said, thank you, God, for not allowing the enemy to stop me from going out there to help somebody else. What if I had allowed these people to stop me? And feel bad for speaking my truth and feel bad to stand up for my worth because of their opinion. That's why I had to overcome the opinion of others that has caused me to doubt my self-worth, because they want me to feel bad about myself talking about what happened to me. Because you hear what the daughter said? She said, my aunt ugly, I'm a bitter, I'm going to need help. Because motivational speaker don't talk about their story. But then she said, why don't you use Java as a struggle? Then the mother go say, my son miserable and hurts. You she say, my son miserable and blah, 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 my mouth and I live your life. That's what she said, you know. Because I have the messages, so I remember. What if I said, Jesus Christ, what is for me? No, me now, but I do not need a man, me not do it. Would this lady would have not have hope. Here's the thing. She's 60-something years old. I think she's 62 years old or 63. She and my mother is the same age. She could have been my mother. Because she and my mother are the same age. She born 1962, just like mommy. And I could have talked about my journey. When I called her the day on the phone, I called her, I make sure I call her. She said she understood what I was talking about because her parents abandoned her and keep the other children that they have. See me like how my father run me where and like the one where him like and shame me like that guy run me all the time. It's similar to that but in a different way. She don't know her parents, but I know mine. You see, when you don't know your parents and you been adopted, it hurting and it acting up because I talk to a lot of persons who have been adopted. But you see, when you know your parents and them run you like that, and you know say yeah, them pick me and them run you and treat you bad, that it differently. And I understood when it's a suicide because that's how I felt. I know how it feels. I remember I'm a ugliest, loveless, fatherless child. Ugful by my mother, but ugliest by the father. What if I had allowed them and did not continue my mission? The universe would have thump me up in my back and lick out the afro out of my head and beat up the sense out of me because I would have allowed them to muffle me from speaking my truth. That this lady can hear. You hear what you said? She don't listen to Dahlia Harris. She listened to Cliff Hughes, but a spirit inside of her that day told her to stop. The lady said she was contemplating suicide, and I'm reading her message because she sent it to me. And then I called her. When I called her, she go on and she said, "Thank you, Authentic Queen, for sharing your story. Continue to spread the message. I now feel much better about myself and I feel more worthy. Thank you for standing. Thank you for sharing from a place of authenticity." If I didn't go out there and tweak it and pretty it up and talk on the surface, this lady, I don't know, but she said she is contemplating suicide. And when she heard me saying that you're worthy, she said that she have hope. People what the woman say. The woman says she have hope. You see why I'm telling this and I make nobody Muffle into speaking the truth? Because I did not go with a bitterness. I went with authority and compassion. And I spoke it from my heart. And I never hide it. This priceless than any money where you can get. So you see why I have to go back into the story for me to understand what I say, because you have some new persons listening to this right now and say, what is? You have some person say, Lord God, Queen, I will come back with this. I have to let you know. So my authenticians, I mentioned something in this audio that is very profound. I said, treat the symptoms, but you need to cure the disease. You need to cure it. I have sinus. And if I eat cheese, it irritates it. Every now and then I would drink a little garlic or take a sinus tablet. I'm treating the symptoms. I'm treating it, but I'm treating it and still eating the cheese. Because I know that if I eat the cheese, I can drink the garlic and I can take 2 Panadol or 2, whatever the pill them, the sinus tablets. I can take 2 sinus tablets and treat the symptoms. But in order for me to cure the disease, I have to get rid of the cheese. And if I keep on putting the cheese in my system, it's going to turn into something different, more mucus. And I'm always relying on this pill until one day the pill no work again. So in order for me to feel free and stop having the stuffiness, I have to get rid of the cheese. It's the same thing with your life and your childhood trauma and the pain that you have been through. You have to get rid of the things that cause you the pain. And one of the things I had to get rid of is that side of the family that has caused me the pain, to the point where I had my wedding and I did not invite my father because he don't want to be in my life. I invited him 2 times to events and he embarrassed me in front of people. He embarrassed me again when I invited me. When I invited him to come to my school graduation, he said, "You can't win one trophy." He embarrassed me. When I invited him to come to Javia's graduation, he was boasting about Javia and ignoring me. He did that again. So what? He does not worthy of he's not worthy of the opportunity to take me to my husband. That's an event for love and for real genuine heart. And I'm not going to say, oh, he's my father, and true the norm say, if you call your father, no, the lady who walked me, my auntie Sonia, who I love so much, she played the role when my mother was when my mother was at work, she played the role of the father. And it's not about gender right here. It's about who was there. I'm still never turn up and become the lesbian. And I'm not saying that me a trouble in a body and them sexual preference. I'm just saying society love make it look like say if that happens so and so. And nothing don't go like that. And I have a very strong personality. And she took care of me. That's why she deserved the opportunity to take me to my king man. Yes. She deserved it. If I had invited my father, it was because of what society say, carry a father. So you have to get rid of the things that don't love you. And sometimes it is hard because sometimes it's the same persons who should love you. It is easy to get rid of one friend. You know the emotional attachment to them. It's easy to get rid of our auntie or too like our cousin. But when you start to value and love yourself, even the people that should nurture you, they don't care about you. Remember, when he was doing what he was doing, he was unapologetic. He did it in public. And I spoke about what happened to me in public from a healed perspective, helping people. When he was doing it from a bitter perspective to shame me and to insult me. But I am not doing it to insult him. However, he feels insulted because he knows that what I'm saying is the truth. Do you understand what I'm saying? And if I had allowed them to muffle me, and I had to treat the symptoms, I not only the symptoms, I have to get rid of the disease and get rid of all of these people out of my life who don't love and accept me for who I truly am. Remember when the Bible say, or them have a saying where say, if your mother don't like your father don't like your Rasta, we take it. Sometimes it is hard, but I was already living without him, so I can do without him. And each time I go around him, I have to blame myself for some of that because I wanted acceptance so much. And it caused me to damage myself because of what I wanted. My need, my weakness. It was a weakness inside of me. And that weakness, I wanted fulfillment from other people. And what happened? Them treat me like dog. So he didn't want me from day one. And now he got what he wanted because he said, me and him are not family. Fine, you're not my family either, so you don't deserve the opportunity to be at my wedding. So let's cure the disease out of our life. The disease, the people who don't want us in our life, get rid of them. Even if it's a family member, it's hard. But you have to do that because each time you bring them back in your life, talking about your holy and forgiveness and this and that. Forgiveness is a self-forgiveness. Forgive the situation. You don't have to go back. Release it. You spent your entire life trying to forgive people who don't like you. Trying to forgive people who don't want to be a part of your life. Let's say my dad wanted to be a part of my life. Fine. But he doesn't want to be a part of my life. So I have to move on. And I'm not going to allow him and his family to stop me. Because I did nothing to myself. The only thing I did was trying to be accepted by people who did not like me. Some authenticians, I hope this was an inspiration to you. And thank you to all the persons who listen. Big up on yourself and thank you for everyone who has supported me. The next audio I have to talk about, I'm going to talk about the wedding, what happened at the wedding, and everything coming on. Holy pound one, where we're going and going and going. Big up on yourself. And let me tell you this, have an authentic life. God bless you. And I salute the authenticity in you all. And never allow anyone to muffle you from speaking the truth. Mwah!